The NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run here with a rookie. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here is 3rd and 5. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the 1st down.
Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. In motion right is Robinson. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now it's Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Giants first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
This is caught. Touchdown. Malik Neighbors. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Throwing is Hurts. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and it may be a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Here's Wilson to throw. Quick completion here to Johnson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a 1st down.
Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's Wilson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Yeah, there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
They were just trying to give their offense a little more room down near their own goal line, but this is just going to make things worse.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The 4-3 defense there did its job, funneled things right to the middle linebacker.
If they do a nice job of playing team defense, everyone takes care of their responsibilities. That allows that guy in the middle to do his job, which is search and destroy.
Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. These two teams all tied after 1. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. 2nd and a couple as they've got it as we resume action. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Hurts. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Complete. Smith has it. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And out of bounds right around the 20. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out.
Touchdown, Eagles! Jahan Dotson, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have taken the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. They go play action with Hurts. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Complete, it's Dotson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
2nd and 6. Barkley, inside handoff. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Gets past one. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Yeah,
like an egg underhanded really with two hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And New York set to take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They run the option on second down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Dances by him. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Wilson. Yeah, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Now it's Wilson. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On to punt, Jamie Gillen. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
And it really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
guy, what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And now it's 3rd and 3.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
A handoff to Barkley on the option.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now out come the Giants. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
And Robinson, the motion man right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And let me tell you, that wasn't as easy as it looked. Dancing away and moving forward for 6 yards.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Right back to Tracy.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Play action. Now Wilson.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
On to give, it's Tracy. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Wilson steps away to his left. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Now it's Wilson.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Wilson
throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Looking to throw. Wilson. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Back to throw. Wilson.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half, and they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's Hurts to throw. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second and 3. It's Barkley on the counter. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Throwing is Hurts. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Tracy going to get it on first down.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson.
That one taken in by Neighbors.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
They go play action with Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And his throw is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun, it's Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He delivers another to Goddard, complete.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Hurts. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's a give to Barkley. Able to fight through one tackle. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
3rd and 5.
They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down.
Now 2nd and 9.
Here's Wilson.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing is Wilson.
That is caught. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Tracy trying the right side. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 60 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Wilson. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Complete. It's Johnson. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this defense will take over right at midfield. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, they're going to go with the option.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Pretty sizable gain of 8 that time on the keeper, but now it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And New York set to take the field.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Now Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
There's Wilson to throw.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up the head of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of a yard. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
89 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
A first down carry for Barkley.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down, here's Barkley again.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
This is 2nd and 8.
They'll go again with Tracy. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line.
74 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
To throw is Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Here's Wilson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now it's Wilson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Now it's Wilson.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Two yards to go, 2nd down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Wilson will throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Malik Neighbors.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Oh, he shifts past him. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee.
Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.